Tesla Autopilot and Full Self-Driving is switching to Tesla Vision. Tesla updated their website today and said that all cars going forward are eventually going to be switching to Tesla Vision, which is Tesla saying that they are getting rid of the radar like we've been hearing about. New Model 3 and Y vehicles starting delivery this month will not even have a radar. S and X for now will, but eventually will not have a radar anymore, and eventually it will be disabled. Current Tesla vehicles using a radar on Autopilot 3.0 supposedly will also have it disabled eventually. There are also rumors of the Full Self-Driving subscription price that have maybe kind of leaked off of Tesla's website, and we're also going to talk about how Full Self-Driving beta testers are kind of being left behind. So big news today on Tesla's website. An update has shown Tesla Vision. Transitioning to Tesla Vision, beginning with deliveries in May 2021, Model 3 and Y vehicles built for the North American market will no longer be equipped with radar. Instead, these will be the first Tesla vehicles to rely on camera, vision, and neural net processing to deliver autopilot, full self-driving, and certain active safety features. If you get one of these vehicles, Tesla will let you know specifically that your radar has been removed and you will be using the new Tesla Vision. With this change, some features will be reduced or removed. Auto steer will have a speed limit of 75 miles per hour versus the current limit of 90 miles per hour. Smart summon, if you buy full self-driving, may be disabled, along with emergency lane departure avoidance. As time goes on, Tesla will re-enable these features via over-the-air software updates. Now, interestingly enough, we have seen this before. In the past, in 2017 or so, Tesla moved from Autopilot 1.0 to Autopilot 2.0 when they got off of Mobileye's system and went with the in-house system of cameras, radar, and ultrasonic sensors. When Autopilot 2.0 first came out, its capabilities were much reduced compared to Autopilot 1.0 that was using the Mobileye suite. The top speed limit was much less on Autopilot 2.0 when it first was released, but eventually over time with software updates, the limit was increased all the way up to 90 miles per hour. We are now seeing something similar with this vision-only system being implemented into vehicles. Now, we've heard that the radar is being removed for a few months now, and Full Self-Driving Beta 9, which still has not been released, was going to remove the radar and switch to vision only. Now, of course, everybody expected Full Self-Driving Beta users were going to get this first, test it out, and it would eventually be rolled out to the public build. Overall, this is a pretty huge change. Radar is used heavily in Autopilot and Full Self-Driving for forward monitoring. There's nothing in the back or on the sides, but for forward detection of vehicles, distance, and speed, it was used heavily. So why exactly is Tesla making this transition now, and why are they going with new Model 3 and Model Y being delivered to new customers versus giving this to older customers or even beta users that probably have more experience with Autopilot? Well, we can guess all day because we don't have an official answer. My guess is that something with the chip shortage or supply chain issues are causing Tesla to not be able to get the radars they need. But perhaps this was in the pipeline all along, and some kind of combination of these factors came together, and Tesla said, you know what, let's move this forward, get rid of this radar, and go ahead with our plan to not have a radar. Now, another strange part of this is Model S and X that are going to start delivery soon will actually have a radar in the car. Now, they're much lower volume, which kind of supports my guessing of a supply chain issue, but Tesla says that Model 3 and Model Y are higher volume vehicles, and transitioning them to the Tesla Vision system first allows Tesla to analyze larger volumes of real-world data in a short amount of time, which will help them speed up the rollout of future features and make the system better overall. Again, kind of weird in my opinion. You're going to send this out to most likely brand new Tesla owners that have no experience with Autopilot and Full Self-Driving. Now, that could be an advantage because when people are new to Autopilot, they're usually much more cautious and paying a lot more attention. As people kind of get used to it, they maybe relax a little bit. And with something new coming out, if they're relaxed, they might not be expecting it to do weird things and might not be paying attention. But again, we have the beta group, and of course I'm in the beta group, and I'm not saying that beta people should have it and no one else should, but it's just interesting because this group was formed to test these bleeding edge features that were potentially not ready for public consumption, and we're not getting it. We're actually far behind on software updates. The beta team has not received a software update in months. And while most of the public fleet has been receiving software updates, they've been pretty much just bug fixes. Not much has been added. They did add the dog and cat animations on the screen, which is very cool. The beta group does not have that. And even with this Tesla Vision system, Elon Musk said on Twitter, Pure Vision Autopilot is now rolling out in North America. There will be an update of this production release in 2 weeks, then Full Self-Driving Beta version 9, also Pure Vision, a week later. Full self-driving subscription will be enabled around the same time. So many of the public builds will have Tesla Vision with no radar, whereas the full self-driving beta team is still going to be stuck in the past, at least for a week. Again, if these timelines hold up, we can't actually rely on them. And we will have an older system using radar, whereas all the other cars won't actually be using radar. Another aspect of this, Holmar's blog tweeted out a radar unit that Tesla uses is $662 plus labor to have it installed. Now I'm sure if you buy these in bulk, Tesla is not paying that much per radar, but even if they're getting a 50 or 60% discount, that's a lot of money saved by not having to install these radars. And we know what Elon Musk's saying is the best part is no part. The less pieces you can put into the vehicle, the better it is, the cheaper it is, the more you can reduce the price while maintaining or even raising margins. Now there was also a rumor of the Autopilot and full self-driving subscription, which supposedly also is going to come out around the time that Tesla Vision ships to everyone. There was supposedly a leak from some code on the website that said the highway version, enhanced Autopilot, would cost $100 a month to basically lease or rent that feature, whereas full self-driving, if you want to use it in city streets, is going to cost $199 a month. Now this is really disputed and no one is sure if it's actually true or not. I personally think the price would be more expensive than this. I kind of like the two-tiered system where you have kind of the highway version that most people would want and use for a little cheaper. And if you want the city streets to use, it's going to be more expensive. But I firmly believe it would be more than $200 a month. I think we'd be closer to $300 a month. I hope I'm wrong on that. We will see when it is released. But it is supposed to be coming out in 2 to 3 weeks around the time, I hate saying these timelines because they're never right. But that's the information we have right now as of the making of this video. But the full self-driving subscription should be out in 2 to 3 weeks, and we will see the pricing then. Now on June 3rd, we're having the Model S Plaid delivery event, and that timing lines up pretty close with the public rollout of the Tesla Vision system. So we can all hope that on that day, we're going to hear much more about this, much more about what's coming to our cars. Hopefully we can also hear about the full self-driving subscription model, and we'd also love to hear about full self-driving beta 9 update, and if it's actually going to come when Musk is saying it is. The removal of radar is pretty interesting because pretty much every other self-driving car company is using that in their suite of sensors. Now Tesla has said vision is the answer, so we shouldn't be too surprised that radar is being removed, but I think it's a little earlier than anyone expected, especially when you look at the performance of the beta. I just recorded a video actually today that I'll put up in the next few days of full self-driving beta version 8.2. And while it's impressive from, kind of an overview of the whole field and kind of what's available to consumers at this point, objectively, it's sometimes disappointing in some of the mistakes it makes. It seems that it's very basic mistakes that it's still making, where it's not keeping its lane appropriately, it's maybe stopping a little short, or making moves that are completely unnatural. So for them to be removing a sensor is pretty surprising. Now Musk has said that they want to remove it because the radar is interfering with the camera signals, and who's right if you have two different sensors. So he's basically saying, let's just go with the cameras. The cameras are right. We don't need the radar interfering with our data. So what do you think? Are you excited about this? Do you want to try it? Do you want to get this to your car if you have a Tesla immediately and start driving on Tesla Vision? Or would you rather some other people kind of work out the kinks first for you and then get it later when it's more refined? Me personally, of course, I would want it right away to kind of play with it and learn about it and see how it's doing. But that's me. A lot of people, I think, like it to be ready before they get it to their car. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have any questions, leave them down below and you will see me in the next video.
So Autopilot and I are happily driving along